A lot happened last week. Not this. I'm talking about DC stuff. The DC movie landscape has been this consistently shifting monstrosity for some time now. Just when we think we have an idea of the type of movies they're going to release, they turn on a dime and release something completely different. I mean, remember when Suicide Squad looked like this? And then ultimately wound up looking like this. And last week we got more news that once again shook up the DC world of movies as we know it. Each bit of news more shocking than the last. But if you ask me, the more shocking the news was, the better the outlook for future DC movies became. Let's take a look. Should I be talking about the Super Bowl trailers instead? Nah, they didn't show us anything anyway. So the week kicked off with our very first look at Birds of Prey. Sorry. Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Birds of Prey. I would have made a video about this last week, but I was already neck deep into my Black Panther video, so we're talking about it now. It really was more or less just a costume test reel. A quick 20-second look at the characters and what they're gonna look like in the final movie. It was mostly just quick one-frame shots with Harley Quinn getting the most screen time, showing off her brand new look. Now, I've stated before that Birds of Prey was one of the DC films I'm most looking forward to, and I am so glad that they're moving forward with this rather than a solo Harley Quinn movie. And the cast looks good. It's great to have Margot Robbie back. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is awesome. Ewan McGregor is awesome. The creative team looks very interesting on this. Everything was looking really good. It's just a shame that the costumes don't look really good. I don't know. It looks like they're continuing that gaudy Suicide Squad look that I would just assume they would want to steer clear from. I mean, Harley Quinn still has all her tattoos. Everybody looks like a rich kid of Instagram. I mean, Huntress is wearing something that looks like her comic book costume, if her comic book costume was cobbled together from a thrift store. Also, we got our very first look at Black Mask, and he's not wearing his black mask. I'm not ready to give up on this movie yet, though. I mean, they just started filming, so who knows how this could turn out. It still looks like it could turn out to be something good. And allegedly, it's going to be rated R. That could be fun. Worked out well for the last DC movie that tried to be rated R. But that was Monday. Wednesday, we got the really big news. News that was so big, you guys thought it was important to interrupt Wulff Den Live to tell me about. Thank you for that. So let's just get the big news out of the way. Yes, it's true. We're getting a Super Pets movie. What? Now, to be fair, it is interesting that Warner Brothers would want to add a film like this to their docket. This clearly will not be a typical superhero film, and this is definitely going to be more of a kids movie. No way this is a PG-13 action movie. And there's no real precedent for a movie like this. There have been talking animal films in the past, sure, those are a dime a dozen, but nothing like a traditional superhero film. And is this going to be in continuity with the rest of the DC movies? Is Henry Cavill going to cameo to prove that he's Krypto's owner? Is Krypto even going to be in the movie? I'm not really sure how to handle this. On the one hand, yes, it would be really cool if we got a movie with Krypto the Superdog and Ace the Bat Hound in it. On the other hand, we have to ask ourselves, when was the last time a movie like this, a talking pet movie, was any good? Homeward Bound? That was like 20 years ago. And then there's Suicide Squad 2. Now, we've known for a while that James Gunn was writing the script, but it was confirmed last week that not only is Warner Brothers very serious about having him direct the movie, but it's going to be something of a redo, and it's going to be called The Suicide Squad. So, confusing title aside, I actually think this is a really good idea. The first Suicide Squad was a movie, And I think handing it off to another director is a great way to push the series in this bold new direction they're so gung-ho about going in. It's not exactly a reboot, but it is going to feature a brand new cast and have almost nothing to do with the first Suicide Squad movie, hence why it's just going to be called The Suicide Squad, even though they really shouldn't call it that. Now, having a new cast and a new direction isn't a bad idea, but the thing is, if you ask me, Rick Flag, Deadshot, Amanda Waller, and Captain Boomerang, those are usually the 4 core elements of any incarnation of Suicide Squad, comics or otherwise. To not have them in the movie wouldn't really feel like Suicide Squad, if you ask me. Also, and this might just be me, but something about a guy coming over from Marvel to direct a film for the distinguished competition that's sort of similar to the movie he did over at Marvel, that didn't work out so well the last time.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
And yes, lastly, Matt Reeves' long in development Batman movie is scheduled for release in 2021, and Ben Affleck is officially no longer Batman.
Yes!
It's funny because almost exactly a year ago, I did a video on how Warner Brothers should just set Ben Affleck free from his Batman duties because he clearly did not want to be Batman anymore. He went from giving an honestly good performance in Batman vs Superman to making Justice League, in which he just seemed tired, bored, and overall not wanting to be there. I didn't want Ben Affleck to go because I had some personal vendetta against the guy. He never did anything wrong to me. I wanted him to go because he clearly didn't want to do it anymore. And if you ask me, if you're going to play a superhero, either give your all or don't bother. I mean, you gotta feel for the kids of today. They were saddled with a Batman that clearly did not want to be Batman. That's not fair. But now he's free. Our long national nightmare is over. Ben Affleck can go and make the movies he actually wants to make, and Matt Reeves and co. can go make the Batman movie that they actually want to make. It's been confirmed that this movie will not be based on year 1, but will feature a younger Batman. It's been confirmed that it's going to focus a lot more on its detective work than previous Batman movies, and it's going to feature what sounds like to be most of his rogues gallery. Most of this information we already knew, but mostly through the grapevine. Here, Warner Brothers is officially stating that yes, all this stuff is true about our upcoming Batman movie in 2021, and Ben Affleck will no longer be the Caped Crusader. And Ben Affleck himself even confirmed it on Twitter. And I think this is for the best. It's been 7 years since The Dark Knight Rises, the last great live-action Batman movie, and I think we're about due for another really good one. Or rather, 11 years since The Dark Knight, if you're one of those weirdos who doesn't think Rises is any good. Rises is a masterpiece. Come at me. I've admittedly given Warner Brothers and DC a lot of crap for just announcing movies seemingly without any sort of plan. To be fair, they have a lot of movies in some form of development at this point. But now I'm starting to get the sense that they do have some sort of idea of what they want to do with their DC films. Just get good, talented, maybe even up-and-coming people to work on them and forget about continuity. It's actually kind of simple. And if you think about it, this strategy did work for Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Those seem to be the 2 most popular films in this series. So why not have it work with all the other films they're currently trying to make? I still have a lot of questions like, will Birds of Prey be able to overcome its aesthetic? Who is Matt Reeves going to cast as Batman? What super pets are going to be in Super Pets besides Ace and Crypto? Because come on, those are the 2 you have to put in the movie. But I think I can safely say that I'm beginning to get what Warner Brothers and DC are trying to do with their films. They're no longer trying to copy the MCU, thank God. They're just trying to make good and interesting movies. And I think that's as good of a place as any to start a cinematic universe. Still don't necessarily agree with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, but that movie comes out in October. I'll have plenty of time to harp on why I'm not excited for that. But what do you think about all this DC news? Does this make you more excited, or are you starting to get nervous about what could potentially come from this studio? And who do you want to see cast as Batman? Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. Let me guess, you guys want to see Idris as Batman, right? I might be able to get behind that. If you or someone you know would like to support this channel, I have Amazon affiliate links in the description. You can click on those, you can buy things, we get a little kickback from that. We also have Wulff Den Apparel, the best clothing line on YouTube. I will fight anybody who thinks otherwise. But of course, if you want to support the channel for free, you can do that as well. You can watch our videos that we post every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern is Wulff Den Live. So subscribe to see all of that. Like this video and share with a friend who still thinks that Ben Affleck is Batman. Show them this and boy, they're gonna be in for a rude awakening. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.